Hello people and welcome back to another video. Like the title says, today we're gonna talk about drone videos. But before I'm gonna start with the tips on like those cinematic drone shots, I just want to point out some things. First, never fly near airports. Well, in the past, people did a lot of stupid stuff, like that guy in 2019, if I'm not wrong, that he was flying his drone to stop the flights on Heathrow. Don't do that, don't be that guy. Second thing, don't fly your drone near areas where it's high magnetic interference. You might fry your drone and I think you don't want that. And third, do the compass calibration every single time before you're gonna shift the drone into the air. Those are my 3 security tips. I don't know why I said that, but those are my 3 pre-tips before you're gonna start shooting. This may shock you, but I'm still rocking the Mavic Air. I don't fly this thing as much as I want to, and I don't have that kind of big client that needs to have the best quality in the air, so this does the job just fine. So this is my reason why I haven't upgraded yet. Second thing that you're gonna need ND filters for your drone. These are a pretty decent option. I didn't went for the Polar Pro because first, they were pretty pricey for my budget, and second, because I own the Mavic Air. And third, you're gonna need 2 or maybe 3 batteries. On this one actually I have my Instagram handle. There you go, shameless plug. Let me explain why you need 2 or 3 batteries for your drone. First, let's say you're traveling. When you're traveling, of course, you don't know your surroundings and stuff like that. So you're gonna use one of those batteries to scout the area, and then you already know before you're gonna fly again with your second or your third battery, you already know what you have near you. So before you're gonna fly again, plan before you're gonna fly, so you already know what kind of shots you're gonna take because you used one of those batteries to scout the area already. So that is just one reason. Second reason is that you're gonna have more flight time. Let's say you're gonna fly more, you want to have more shots, or you need to redo one of the shots before, and you're not gonna have this stress on your mind that you're not gonna have enough flight time or batteries to do that. That's the second reason. One more thing before I'm gonna start with the actual drone tips: use manual mode, shoot in manual mode. And why you need to shoot in manual mode? Because you want to have full control over your settings, and that thing is gonna help you a lot when you're gonna be back home and you're gonna edit that footage. Now that we finished with that, we can actually start this video. So every single person, when they are buying a drone and they are ready to send it in the air, stuff like that, they are just going up and down like that, and they are doing a 360 with the drone. There's nothing wrong with that because you're starting to learn how to fly the drone. But the only time when I'm doing an up and down motion like that, or movement or whatever you want to call it, is only when I want to fake a crane shot and I have my subject somewhere around here in front, and I want to come from here, from up here, somehow down like that, and I want to frame the subject and lock onto the subject. That's the only time when I'm using that kind of up and down motion, because it looks way more professional and it looks like you actually shot it with a big expensive crane. So like I was saying, instead of doing this up and down motion or movement, whatever you want to call it, just try to do a push in. But before you're gonna start with that push in, slow cinematic push in, make sure that you're gonna have something in your foreground. That shot is gonna look way better, like this one. So maybe you're asking yourself why do I need to have this kind of foreground element into my shot when I'm doing a slow push in? First, it adds an extra layer to your shot, and second, you can use this, and I'm gonna show you in a second, you can use this to do a speed ramp transition with the drone. And if you're gonna shoot the next scene in the same way that you shot this one, you're gonna have a pretty cool transition. Let me show you. So here you can see why those foreground elements were really important, because for example, if I didn't have them, this speed ramp transition was kind of empty, but because I had those elements, those bushes on the right in the first scene, and that tree on the left, and that tree on the left in the second scene, and those small bushes on the right as well, it helped me to stitch these two scenes very well together, and it was a pleasing transition when you looked at it. My next tip for a cinematic drone shot is doing like a slow pushing, and then like your drone goes up in the same time that goes like slowly in front like that, and then at the end you're gonna have like a revealing shot of your scene, of your background, of your subject or whatever. So that thing looks like this. Okay, that background is not that great and it's not that epic, but you got the point. Tip number 3, this was tip number 2. Yeah, this was tip number 2. Tip number 3, you can do like a pull out. Stop with the that's what she said kind of jokes. You can do like a pull out shot, and then this shot is gonna like end with a revealing shot. So this shot is gonna look like this. You can use this kind of shot like when you want to show the scale of things. So let's say behind you had like a really big tower or something like that, and you were like at the base of that thing. You're gonna do this kind of like pull back shot, and then like with the revealing shot you're gonna have like the tower in frame, because like the tower is gonna be your subject at that point. Alright, for tip number 4, you're gonna fly your drone straight, and then you're gonna use like this wheel that is on the left side of your controller right here, and you're gonna tilt your camera down like that when you're like flying straight. So let's like think that in front of me over here I have like 2-3 skyscrapers, and I'm flying over those skyscrapers, and I want to like show my location that happens to be like this abandoned amphitheater right here. So let's imagine that I have those 3 skyscrapers in front of me, I'm flying over them, and then I'm flying like straight like that, and then I'm like tilting the camera down and I'm showing like the amphitheater with like tilt motion. I'm using this kind of shot when I want to like show like a really big river or like a really long road, or I have like a really nice pattern, like straight pattern when I'm flat. I don't know why I said straight, flat pattern when I'm like flying over something. And like I was saying in the beginning of this video, this is one of the shots that you may need like more flight time, because you're not gonna like do it like in one take, and that's why you need to like practice with the wheel and like that forward motion. For tip number 5, I went to the parallax shot, or like the hero shot, how I like to call it, and it should look something like this. Just make sure that when you're filming something like this, make sure that your subject is gonna be always in the center of your frame, so you're gonna have like a really nice framing, and you're not gonna do like me where the subject is a little bit on the right side. But to have this, and this is not gonna like be like one take, just to like make it better, just like make sure that you're gonna activate like your grid from the settings of your DJI app. I'm calling this shot like the hero shot because, for example, let's say you have somebody like on the edge of a cliff or something, and you're gonna do like this kind of parallax movement, or you want to like show like a really tall tower or something like that, or you need like a shot to like stitch the next shot like with a right movement or a left movement. It depends on how you want to edit. So this is called the parallax shot or the hero shot, but I like to call it the hero shot. Now the next tip, it's a little bit harder to do, but this is like really nice to see when you're having like a moving object in your scene. So this should look something like this, and after you're gonna see the scene, I'm gonna explain what happens exactly right here. Okay, so what is happening in this scene? This is kind of a tracking object kind of scene. So let me play it again. So I'm gonna explain. So first you have like the drone up here, and then you're doing like a slow pushing, but in the same time you're bringing the drone lower, and then you need to maintain the speed of that pushing. And when the train like comes from your left side, you need to maintain those two things as well, and you need to maintain the framing of the moving object as well. So this is not for beginners, but after like many takes you can do this thing as well. So this was number 6, 7, I lost the count, but whatever. This is like a little bit more complicated, but the end product is like really nice. Okay, so last but not least, I call this the oneer, and before I'm gonna like play this clip right here, I'm just gonna explain what the oneer is. You know those kind of shots in movies when they are filming something that looks like shot in one take? this is kind of the same thing but with a drone. And before I'm gonna hit play, I just want to say that I shot this like 1 year and something ago, and I wasn't that good at flying drones, but I got better at flying drones, and you're like learning stuff by doing it and repeating it and stuff like that. But unfortunately I don't have like actual footage of it, so that's why I'm showing like this clip from 1 year and a half ago. So it should look something like this. Like I was saying, just keep in mind that this was like shot 1 year and a half ago, so bear with me. You're gonna see this jerky movement right here. This is a no-no from the start. So how a proper like oneer should look: let's say you have like your drone up here somewhere, and then you're like bringing your drone down, you're showing the background and stuff like that, or your scene or whatever, and then you're like moving around and you're like showing different stuff as well. And maybe at some point you're gonna like frame your subject if it's not moving, or if like your subject is moving, then you're gonna like frame your subject and you're still going with the drone and like you're like moving after your subject. And that's the oneer right there. So that's it, people. This is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Just consider liking and subscribing, hit that notification bell so you're not gonna miss any of my future videos. If you learned something from this video, just tell me in the comments down below what shot you like the most. And before I'm gonna like end this video, don't fly near airports. See you in the next one. Peace.